Welcome to the world of probiotic foods. This is Cultured Food Life with your host, Donna Schwenk.
Welcome, everybody, and thanks for joining me. We are going to be talking about carrots today, mostly cultured carrots. And I wanted to remind you that on my website, I usually have the transcript for everything that I've spoken of. And you just go to Cultured Food Life. And if you go to Cultured Food Life /podcast, you'll see all my podcasts and you'll see the articles that correspond with them. So if you don't want to listen, you can always read, or if you want to try to remember something I said, I put all the links and descriptions and references in the article and the podcast itself. So, and that's at Cultured Food Life /podcast. And that's where you'll see all my stuff, all my articles that you can listen to, and my products, and just a bunch of stuff on there that has information that can help you. Okay, so I want to tell you a story. And I was 9 years old at the time. And I was sitting in a classroom staring at my teacher's desk. And from her thermos, she would pour a bright orange liquid. I think she was a substitute teacher, and she was there a lot because I can't remember why my teacher was on leave, but she was there for like a couple of months. And she would bring in this thermos, and I would stare at it while she poured this orange liquid into her glass. And I just found myself obsessing about it. I was a pretty intense little kid because I wondered what she was drinking. And I should have been working in my workbook, but I would just watch her every time she went to take a drink. And I would think, what is in that glass and why did she drink it every day? And I was only 9 years old at the time, and I would ask all my friends what they thought our teacher was drinking, but nobody cared about it but me, nobody. And it was bright orange, and she would sip it really, really slowly, and it was such a pretty color, and I had to know what that was. It was driving me crazy. So finally one day, I went up to her and I asked her what she was drinking and why she drank it every day. And she said it was carrot juice, and she said it improved her eyesight a lot. So she said, I make sure I drink it every day. Well, I was wowed by this, and I thought that was just about the coolest thing I'd ever heard. And I wondered why everybody else didn't know this. So I told everybody that carrot juice improved your eyesight. I was telling them the story about my teacher. But really, nobody wanted to listen to a little 9-year-old girl talk about carrot juice. And they would just kind of, pat me on the head and be like, yeah. But I think the thing that most interests and excite us are signs and clues and guidance to something important that's trying to tell us something. And way back then, food affected our health. And, well, not way back then. Way back when I was 9, I was starting to learn that food can affect our health. And it was always trying to get my attention from a very early age that I should pay attention to food, that there was something about it that could change my life. And it's very cool to look back. This has been going on in my life since I was a young kid. And I was super intense about things like this. I didn't even know why, but they just drew me in because some of my favorite memories are of food when I was young. I remember my dad used to take me to this health food store, and the health food store owners were just the greatest people. They were so happy and full of life. And they were older people, but they were just vibrant and energetic, and they would pick me up, and they had this yogurt machine that made soft serve yogurt ice cream. And they would always give me some and set me up on the stools. And I loved going to that store. And health food stores kind of have that, what's that, like vitamin smell? So they don't smell great, but man, I would love to go to that store. And I remember it really impacted me that they were some of the happiest and most energetic people that I had ever known. And it impacted me as a young kid. And I was even younger than 9 when we started doing that. And my dad always liked going to the health food store. And of course, it was across from the cheese store. There was a cheese store across there was like a little corridor. And he would take me into the cheese store and let me try the cheeses. And he would give me these strong tasting cheeses. The people behind the counter would give me little things because they got a kick out of me because I would like the strong cheeses. And I was little. I had to be 5 or 6. And from that day to this, I have learned that all of those little pebbles along my way were trying to teach me something and to guide me to the life that I have now. Now, eyesight and carrots, it's a very cool correlation. My web manager, Chris, also expressed to me how his eyesight improved when he started drinking a lot of carrot juice. I can't remember how many ounces he said he had a day, but he had a glass, I think, every day. And, here it is. After months of drinking 20 ounces a day, the ophthalmologist told him that his eyesight had improved. So he was drinking 20 ounces a day. And researchers at the Jules Stein Institute at the University of California in Los Angeles found that women who consume carrots at least twice per week, compared to women who consume carrots less than once per week, had significantly lower rates of glaucoma damage to the optic nerve, often associated with excess pressure inside the eye. So, have you ever stopped to just taste a carrot? Not just eat it, but taste it. You can taste the beauty and the earth and, that earth energy in every bite. It has a different flavor. And if you really taste it, it has, I can't explain it. It does. It tastes like the earth. It's different than other fruits and vegetables. And I've noticed that there's something special about carrots. So given the fact that carrots are rich in antioxidants, there are so many numerous research studies showing that cardiovascular disease benefit from eating carrots. So here's how this works. Our cardiovascular system, and especially our arteries, is responsible for carrying high oxygenated blood throughout the body, which needs constant protection from antioxidant damage. So carrots are fabulous for supplying our body with a rich source of antioxidants in a huge way. And I think carrots are really special and that everybody should include them in their diet as much as possible. I love the flavor, I love the freshness of them, and nothing shouts, get back to your roots like a carrot. I have so many carrot recipes, and I have a carrot kombucha recipe that is really spectacular. It's got this wonderful flavor. Carrot kombucha is the best, and it's bubbly and delicious. And so I try to have carrots whenever I can, in as many ways as I can. Because you never know when a little 9-year-old girl could be watching you if you're drinking carrot juice. You might just plant a little seed into her life that could change her life later on down the road. Okay, so I have glasses and jars everywhere in my house. I have tons of cultured foods. As yesterday, we were cleaning out the fridge, and I have so many cultured foods in my fridge that we have several fridges. So I had to move some of them because I have so many that it takes up the room for everything else in the fridge. But I'm always looking for new ways to make cultured foods in these jars. And I have unusual recipes with carrots that combine apples and carrots in my favorite little jar that looks like a pot. That you see that little pots thing all over my website. And this recipe is fantastic. My daughter Macy created it, and I love to make it in the springtime around Easter. And I think carrots taste and smell like springtime, and this recipe will knock your socks off. It's so good, and it's so easy to make. And it's not like my other cultured veggie recipes because it has some fruit in it. It has a sweeter taste. It's really good, and it tastes like carrot cake. That's what it tastes like. And if you have picky eaters in your house, this is one you need to try because it's real good, and they'll love it. So here's what's in it. Apples, dates, carrots, cinnamon, cloves, walnuts, and a splash of vanilla, and it is heavenly. And not only does it taste spectacular, but the health benefits are something you'll want to know about. Carrots are very powerful medicine, and I can think of no better way to consume them to culture them. And you'll love this recipe. It's unique, and it'll make a springtime favorite. So basically what you're doing, and I'm going to link the recipe description below so you can have the actual recipe. You're basically just shredding up apples, chopping up dates, shredding carrots, and then you put cinnamon, cloves, and walnuts and a little bit of vanilla in a jar with a culture, and you let it ferment for just a couple days. Don't let it ferment for more than 2 or 3 days because it'll over ferment because there's so many sugars in carrots and apples. And then you put it in your fridge, and it is so good. It's so good, and it tastes like carrot cake. So the juice is good. The vegetables themselves are good. and you have to watch it. You'll have to try. I think I might have the carrot. Oh yes, I do. I have the carrot kombucha recipe. I have a little video on this link, and I'll put the link in the description below, and you can watch that. It's kind of cool to see what it looks like and how it works. So I'll put that on there too. Now, I have 19 cultured carrot recipes that you can make. I have healthy cookie bars that have got carrots and goji berries and nuts, and oh my gosh, it's so good. They're so good. I cut them into squares. They're yummy. They're perfect for lunch boxes, and they're so good for you. Carrot kombucha, that's just one of my favorite kombuchas. It's just so different and delicious tasting and bubbly. You got to try that. I also have the carrot water kefir recipe, which is yummy. And you can, you can use water kefir crystals, but you can also use, I have this little kefir soda pack to make kefir soda. And you can put that in there if you don't have water kefir crystals, which honestly is easier than making water kefir because it's so fast. And you just put this powder, you mix it into the liquid, stick it in your jar, let it ferment, and then you can keep adding to it and it'll make you water kefir soda within a day, sometimes half a day if your house is warm. And you could also make carrot kefir soda with kefir whey, which is the whey that you strain off of your kefir to make kefir cheese. So basically how you do that, and you're going to have the links in the description below. You just take some homemade kefir, milk kefir that you've made, and you put it in, you put a strainer with a coffee filter inside of it and put it in a bowl, pour it in there, and then the whey will drip out. And you can use that to make the most delicious water kefir sodas. And basically all you're doing is adding like a fourth a cup of kefir whey, 2 cups of juice and 2 cups of water, and let it ferment till it gets super bubbly, and it makes the best kefir soda. And you can do that with carrot juice. It's fantastic. You'll love it. And it's so bubbly. You got to be careful because it gets so bubbly that I have to calm mine down, keep it in the fridge, and open it slowly over the sink because it gets very, very bubbly and can explode, hit your ceiling, which has happened many times in my house, which drives my husband crazy. So anyway, it's a lot of fun though to make that. And carrot kefir soda is so good. So so 3 ways to make it. You can use water kefir crystals, which are little crystals that make water kefir, or you can use the kefir soda packages, which you just basically put that in with the carrot juice and let it ferment, or you can use kefir whey. There's 3 ways to make it. Or you can make carrot kombucha. So that's fun too. Okay, now I have another recipe that I absolutely love. It's called cultured broccoli salad in a jar. You ever had that broccoli salad with grapes and carrots and broccoli and raisins? Well, I ferment it, and it's so good. It has so much flavor, and it has carrots in it. It's really good. It's a fun way to enhance your diet with all kinds of vegetables. And remember, when you eat fermented foods, it helps you to break down the foods that you eat with it. So let's say you have a few spoonfuls of this, cultured broccoli salad in a jar with your meal. You're going to absorb more nutrients from your meal because it's going to support your digestion. It's going to make things more bioavailable, nutrient-wise, and it's just going to speed up your digestion, which takes a lot of energy out of the body. Digestion is a huge energy sucker from, out of your life when your body's got to digest something. But when you have fermented foods, it really makes a difference. It allows for easier digestion and more nutrient absorption. Okay, I have cultured carrot coins and celery sticks. So kids love these. You can chop up carrots into coins or into sticks and celery into sticks. You put them in a jar with a culture and let them ferment for like 2 days. And you've got cultured carrots. And they taste like regular carrots. They really don't taste sour because there's so many sugars in them. So I recommend you eating them pretty right away because they keep fermenting and then they kind of lose their flavor over time and they kind of get slimy if you don't eat them right away. But that's because there's so many sugars in them. But they do taste great for a couple weeks just fermented, and it's a great way to get probiotics in your kids. So cultured carrots, they'll stay crispier. Make sure you add salt because they'll stay crispier if you do. I love fermented celery. That's one of my favorites. and I just put them in a jar with a culture. And I've got all these recipes. All these recipes will be in the link descriptions on the website, and I'll leave that below. I have a fermented Asian salad, which I just absolutely love. And it's got carrots and red peppers, and you can use it's got noodles and a peanut sauce, and you put it all in a jar. It's a great lunch. It's fantastic, and it gives you tons of carrots, and it's really good. Now I've got flu prevention cultured veggies. These are spicy and sweet and sour, and they are wonderful for if you're sick or if you're not sick, because they have so many prebiotics in them in the form of jicama and carrots and cabbage, and they are so good tasting because they have these different flavors in them. Salty, sweet, spicy, really, really good, and you'll love that. Now, kimchi is an ancient dish that Koreans have been making for centuries, and they usually put carrots in them, and kimchi is a fantastic way to culture your carrots. And I always have kimchi. I have spicy kimchi. I have regular kimchi. I have another Mexican type or Spanish kimchi. I have kimchi pickles. I always have some kind of kimchi in my refrigerator. And they you must always use carrots in the kimchi recipes. Now, my daughter has a cultured carrot recipe, and one that she ate often when she had IBS many years ago. And I've got that, and it's just shredded up carrots. It's really good. You'll have to take a look at that. It's one she ate a lot of. I have Mexican carrots, which are super spicy. You can throw them in any Mexican dish for extra flavor and probiotics. And I see a lot of these at restaurants and stuff that serve Mexican food. They'll have these pickled carrots, but mine are pickled too, but they're fermented. So they have probiotics in them. And they're very, very popular here. And I'm close to San Diego, so I'm pretty close to Mexico. And so many people serve these delicious. They do with jalapenos, and they're really a fun side condiment that people eat all the time. And mine are probiotic, so you should try it. Miso soup is another way to get your cultured, not cultured, but it's a great soup. Miso, I have written an entire article and blog and recipes on miso and how important it is. But lots of times when you're making miso soup, you add carrots to it. And it's just a super fast, easy way to get cultured carrots into your diet, and that tastes delicious. And miso soup, oh my gosh, it has so many benefits that I think I did another podcast on it. You need to go listen to that because it's a fantastic probiotic food that you need to have in your diet. Okay, I have another one, Shelley's Cultured Vegetables. This is one of my family's very favorite cultured recipes, vegetable recipes. And it has lots of carrots and apples and cabbage. And it uses these special minerals, so you get more minerals. You put minerals and you put some prebio in it, which allows the thing to ferment like crazy. And it is crazy delicious. My friend Shelley made it for me, and we couldn't eat enough of it. And we've been making it for, I would say 10 years now. We make them. If I don't have them in my fridge, my husband whines because he loves this recipe. We have Spanish kimchi. I was talking about that before. That has a lot of carrots in it, and it's really good. I love Spanish kimchi, and it's fun to make too. And I have a video on that, and you'll see that in the link description below. Now, Sunshine Kombucha, I love the flavors in this. And turmeric, I have turmeric in this, and carrots and carrot juice, and it's a fantastic drink that you might like. And you can also make it into water kefir. It's the same thing. It's delicious. It has a lot of flavor. I have a Thai miso soup, which we love Thai food. And I have a really good fermented Thai miso soup. That means, I guess miso is a Japanese word that means fermented beans. So it's got a little bit of miso in it. It's really good for you. And you'll love it. It's got carrots in it too. And then I have a trilogy coleslaw, which is made with kefir, kombucha, and cultured vegetables. And it's fantastic. We eat this all the time. It's a super fun and easy way to get more carrots in your diet, but other cultured foods too. So those are 19 of my recipes, which I will link below. And you can go take a look at all of them and just try one. Just pick the one that most interests you and add some cultured carrots to your diet, or a drink or a vegetable or a soup, or we've got so many different things to choose from. And get those antioxidants that are so unique to carrots. And they will help make a difference, not only in your life, but in your eyesight and in all the different ways that cultured foods can help you. So have a good week, and thanks for listening, and I hope this helps you. Check out my website at culturedfoodlife.com/podcast, and you can see all my articles and my podcasts and my products and I have so many health articles on there and information on how to help you make cultured foods. If you go to the top of the page on the menu bar, you'll see a little smiley pot that says Start Here. Start there, and you'll see all the recipes and all the help menus for keeper kombucha, cultured vegetables, sourdough, sprouted breads, on how to make these cultured foods. And I've got an easy menu for you to check out everything for free so that you can get started getting healthy and making these foods. Thanks, guys, for listening, and we'll see you next week.